Hello everyone, welcome back to another Gates playthrough. So I am recording this one basically directly after the last one. I'm probably going to do just several of these right in a row and then edit them all and then upload them just back to back to back just to have something being uploaded every day. Doesn't have to be the best, but it at least keeps me motivated to do something, and I think that's the important thing. So we are going to have the monk and the guard, and then I will grab the peddler. If you've been paying attention, you'll notice whenever the game doesn't give me the peddler as an option from my first two cards, I always pick the peddler, and that's because the peddler is just straight up the best starting card. Full stop. That having a card in your starting deck that has 2 income just does so much for you. But okay. So we will reveal 4 cards. We have the Minstrel, the Assassin, the Alchemist, ooh, and the Guardian. Okay. Interesting start. And then our first enemy is the Spider. Once again, I believe that was also our first enemy last time. Okay. So I have the guard this time, so I can actually do some damage if I want, but we have the assassin and the alchemist. So the alchemist does 2 damage and you may trash a card in the discard. The assassin lets you trash a card in hand after using it. They're both really good, but the assassin only costs 4, the alchemist costs 6. They both do the same amount of damage, but the assassin has more income. The caveat being the alchemist has a more generic card removal, because it's any card in your discard, and since you discard cards after, like, on the same turn you use them, the alchemist also lets you discard any cards that are in your hand as well. So the alchemist effect is slightly better than the assassin, but I think the assassin's 2 income, 2 damage is better than alchemist's 1 of everything, but damages at 2. So I think assassin has slightly better stats, and is cheaper, but the alchemist has a much stronger effect. But the assassin is much stronger at the beginning of the game, because I can use peddler's 2 income, the monk's 1 income. That's 3 plus 1 from the farm is 4. So I can just buy the assassin now, and then I can start getting rid of these starter cards as I buy new stuff. And so I'm probably going to just have this be a super lean, like, 3 card deck of just 2 damage cards. That's probably my goal right now. Like, I can already see it now with, like, Commander, Guardian, Alchemist. Like, this is looking pretty nuts right off the bat. And then I'll just use the guard to deal 1 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower. So 2 damage. Spider will deal 1 damage to our gate, increase fear by 1, which will give us a random hero added to the deck. It will move over, making room for the next wave 1 enemy, which is the Skelepede. Okay, I believe this is the exact same order that the enemies came out last time. I swear I shuffled. And you know I did, because the Guardian showed up again, but it's not next to anything else that I got last game. So it was definitely shuffled. Okay, so let's draw 3 cards. We have the guard, the monk, and the engineer. Well, the engineer is literally useless, unfortunately, as 4 repair. Oh, sorry, I guess it can repair 1 to my gate. Incredible. Not exactly ideal. I will use the guard to deal 1 damage bumped by 1 from the tower, so 2 damage. So that will kill the spider and have 1 damage leak over to the Skelepede. Then I will use the monk's 1 income, bumped by 1 from the farm is 2 income, to purchase a barricade in front of the tower. Skelepede will attempt to do 2 damage to the tower. It will fail, it will take 1 damage, and then the next enemy will come out. It's the Flyclops. So 3 health, 1 damage to the tower, and increase fear by 1. Draw 3 cards. We get the assassin, the peddler, and then 1 of these will be getting removed. I hope it's the monk. The guard, okay. That's okay. So, interesting. I have 6 income in this hand. I'm going to use 4 income, bumped by 1 from the farm, is 5 income. And I will grab the commander for 5. Okay. So that will use those. Then I will use the guard to deal 1 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower to deal 2 damage. I will deal 1 to the Skelipede, and 1 will leak over to the Flyclops. And then, due to the Assassin's effect, I can trash a card in hand after using it, so I will trash the guard. Okay. And now the Flyclops will deal 1 damage to the tavern, putting it down to 2. Increase fear by 1, which will deal 1 damage to the farm. This will move over. Next wave 1 enemy is the Doomskull. Doomskull deals 1 damage to the gate immediately upon being revealed. And then we will draw 3 cards, so I will get the Monk and then shuffle these up. The Commander and the Peddler. Okay, so the Assassin's at the bottom, unfortunately. So once again, I will use... Actually, I will use the Commander to deal 2 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower, so that is 3 damage. And I will use it to kill the Flyclops, and 1 damage will leak over to the Doomskull. And then I will use the Monk to calm for 1. And since the tavern's at 2 health, I will calm for 2. And then I will use the Peddler to use 2 gold to purchase a barricade in front of the gate. And then I will use the 1 income from the farm. The commander says the call to arms command costs 1 gold this turn. So I will use the 1 income from my farm to deal 1 damage to the Doomskull. Then the Doomskull will attempt to deal 1 damage to the gate. The barricade will stop it, dealing 1 damage back to it, and it will perish. Okay. Wave 2 enemy now, the Rat Lord. That's pretty good, actually. So I will draw the Assassin, and then shuffle these up and draw 2 more cards. And then I just need to draw, or buy 1 more card, and we will be in business. So we have the Assassin, the Peddler, and the Commander. Okay. So I'm going to spend... I'm going to use the Peddler's 2 income and the Assassin's 2 income. So that's 4 income, bumped by 1 from the farm. That's 5 income. And I will use that to grab the Guardian. And I will use the Assassin to trash the Peddler after using it. And so now I have the Commander with 2 income or 2 damage. And I'm going to use the Commander to deal 2 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower, so that's 3 damage. Whoops. If the Blood Monk comes out, then I will feel very silly, but that's okay. So Rat Lord will deal 2 damage to the gate, and then move over. Next wave 2 enemy is the Dark Priest. It's not the Blood Monk, so that's good. We will draw 3 cards, so 1, and then shuffle these up. Okay, so 1, 2, nice, 3. So we have the Assassin, the Guardian, and the Monk. So I will use the Assassin and the Guardian. This will deal 4 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower is 5 damage. And I will just use that to kill the Dark Priest. Then I will use the Monk's 1 income, bumped by 1 from the farm is 2 income, to place a barricade in front of the gate, and then because I had the assassin in my hand, I will trash the monk after using it. Okay, Rat Lord will attempt to deal 2 damage to the gate. The barricade will block it, dealing 1 damage back to the Rat Lord. And then our next enemy is the Rotworm. And now I will draw my last 3 cards that are in my deck. I can deal 2, 4, 6 damage bumped by 1 from the tower. That is 7 damage. And you might notice that the Rotworm has 5 health. The Rat Lord has 6 health, but has already taken 4, so it needs 2 more damage to kill it. 2 plus 5 is 7, so I will go ahead and use all 3 of my cards to deal 7 damage and kill both of these Wave 2 enemies. Next enemy is the Vilestalker. I will draw 3 cards. I only have 3 cards left. I have the Commander, the Assassin, and the Guardian. I will use the Assassin and the Guardian to deal 4 damage. Bumped by 1 from the tower is 5 damage, so that will kill the Vilestalker. And with the Commander, I now have 2 income plus 1 from the farm. I have a total of 3 income. And I will use it to repair the farm for 1. Okay. No, I will use it to grab a barricade in front of the gate. Yes. Next enemy, Tentesteed. 5 HP, 2 damage to the mill, gain 1 fear. I will draw my cards. I will use Assassin and Guardian to deal 5 damage, killing it. I will use the Commander's 2 income to purchase another barricade in front of the tower. Next enemy, Death Guard. 6 HP. Okay. I will use the Assassin and the Guardian to deal 4 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower. 5 damage to the Death Guard. And then I will use the Commander. I will use my 1 extra income from the farm. Again, the Commander says the Call to Arms command costs 1 gold this turn, so I will use 1 gold to deal 1 damage to the Death Guard, which will kill it. And then I still have 2 income left over that I can use to purchase another barricade in front of the farm. Okay, and then next enemy, Devourer, 6 HP. Guess what? Second verse, same as the first. We're going to use Assassin and Guardian to deal 5 damage, and then I will use the Commanders. I will use the 1 income from the farm to deal the 6th damage to kill it, and then the additional 2 income to place another barricade in front of the mill. And then we will play down another enemy. It's the Blight Golem. It has 6 HP. Stop me if you've heard this one before. We're going to deal 5 damage, bumped by 1 from the extra income from the farm for 6. 2 income to purchase the last barricade. Lastly, Zogar will come out. I have 2, 4, 6 damage, bumped by 1 from the tower. That is 7 damage, putting Zogar down to just a measly 1 HP. And then Zogar will hit this barricade in front of the farm and get dealt its last point of damage and perish. So there you have it. That is just showcasing the power of getting the Assassin early on, followed up by some 2 damage cards, and you can really just go to town on this game. The Assassin is kind of broken. The Alchemist is equally as broken, but it's just a little more expensive. So they functionally do the same thing, but Alchemist is just a little better at it. Because like I said, the Assassin, you have to draw the cards you want to remove in the same hand you draw the Assassin, whereas the Alchemist, you can just draw it basically at any time. The only downside to the Alchemist is if it's always on top of your deck, so you don't have a discard. You can still use it, you just have to trash whatever is in your hand that you discard on that turn. But anyway, we had a 3-card deck, and we just completely demolished the game with just killing every single enemy that showed up the second that it came out. Yeah, so that was it. That was pretty straightforward. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.